What's going on, Capricorn? Welcome into the channel. If you're new, I welcome you as well. So I'm going to do a reading about what you need to know. Full disclosure, so early yesterday morning, I had a vision in my dream, and it was interesting because the vision I had, I don't know if you remember like the movie projectors that would sit up on the ceiling. They're square, they would hang down, and you know they have the circular, what almost reminds you of like the binoculars. It had those two circular like camera binoculars, and it was me sitting in your place, and I happened to look up and notice it on the ceiling. And then I had this thought where it was like, was that it was like my neighbor. It felt like my neighbor. Now, I'm not saying your neighbor's watching you. I'm not saying my neighbor's watching me. But it was a sense of somebody watching. Yeah, I'm weird. The sage doesn't want to stay. And I had this giggly sensation because I didn't have clothes on. Now, I'm not saying somebody's watching you while you're naked, right? Could be. I'll never say never. However, this felt more like somebody was seeing you for more than your outside appearance. They were watching or taking a closer look at you, what is underneath of your clothes, what's underneath your skin, you know, who you were as a person. Dude, the sage does not want to stay lit. That is crazy. I've never had that. Let me let that burn for a second. So you were like giggly, so it wasn't like a bad thing. It was almost like a little bit of an embarrassment, like somebody could see through you, see the person you actually were or are. I may have to get a different sage stick if that doesn't stay lit. I'm just gonna not cover it. Oh, weird. The fact that I said not cover it. There we go. We're going to keep that right there for a minute. Okay. All right. So the sage doesn't want to be covered. So it's like maybe, like I said, there's something about you, somebody looking beyond you. I don't know. So let's get into this. Like I said, I don't know if I can cover that up because it isn't going to do well. All right, so I've never had that happen. That is really weird, but all right, we're just going to roll with it, right? That's what we do around here. Everything is for a reason. Let me finish saging. So what I want to do is let's figure out what area of life this could be affecting. All right, you know, maybe we'll be able to get an idea of who or what is trying to look at you closer. And I don't think you're aware of this as much as I am coming through the dream, okay? So let's get into this, and hopefully this sage doesn't go all over the place. All right, so we can't cover it. We're not going to. So let's find out, what area of life is this affecting Capricorn, please? What do they need to know? Okay, so 4th house. So that's your home. Remember, I said in the dream, it was like sitting at home, and then I looked up at the ceiling and there's this like projector, video projector. And it was like, I felt it was my neighbor, but I think really it is somebody close to you. Let's get more on this, please, for Capricorn. Yeah, we got stormy. Card 21. Boundaries. Card 26. Whoa, you get a couple extra cards. Okay. Friendship and meditate. Friendship and meditate. Okay, so you could have gotten into an argument with somebody that's close to you, right? So a friendship, right? So a lot of times our friends we consider to be family, right? Card 17 and card 40. And I feel that you have, so there's something that happened, okay, with this friendship or somebody close to you, right? Somebody, you know, when I'm talking about home, and like I told you, it was like my neighbor, right? I felt like it was my neighbor. So it's somebody that is a friend, that is close to you, in close proximity. And something happened. And so boundaries were put up. And I feel that because you put these boundaries up, you may have put a little distance between you and this person. You're now at a relaxed state. So like I told you, even though you looked up and noticed this camera, and maybe you felt like you were being watched, it was also a sense of a little bit of a relief with the giggly feeling, right? So it's like, okay, well, we had a fight, I put some boundaries up, or there were some boundaries up between the two of you. And now it's like, okay, I'm meditating, I'm relaxing, you know, because fighting can be stressful. All right, so I think this sage is okay. It's making a mess now, though, right? So something was messy, something was made a mess of, somebody made a mess of something. And that's what's caused there to be some boundaries here. Okay, I think we're okay with I think we can cover it up now. So let's get more on this situation, please, for Capricorn. Oh, yeah, telepathic. And that's the dreams. Oh, insatiable. Remember I told you I felt naked, so that's like this person could see me naked, but I think it's more of, I think you two are telepathically connected to each other while you're in this separation and meditation phase. Like I said, I think they find you more irresistible. So I don't know what kind of friend this was, right? This could have been a friend, maybe you had dated, or maybe you hooked up with. And they're finding you more irresistible because of the boundaries from whatever had happened. And so now they're really tapped into you because, like I said, they're seeing beyond the clothes. They're seeing beyond our skin. They're diving deeper, it feels like. Yeah, there's a plug. They're connected. They're connected. Some of you, they could be watching you through the internet. So if you are on social media, if you have, say, a YouTube platform, there's something you're doing to where they're connected, they're tapped into you, and they're watching. And they find you to be so irresistible. It's almost like whatever had happened, I don't know. After the boundaries, yeah, see, there it is. Magnetic. They find you more irresistible than ever before. Yeah, see, there's the poison. So that must have been whatever the stormy with the first card out is. There was something toxic, though. Tell me more about this. Tell me more about this toxic. Because boundaries had to be put up. I feel like that was you that put the boundaries up. What was this poison? So we have the clown. I get this feeling it was the appearance, right? Remember I told you they were looking beyond your skin, your clothes. They were looking more inside of you. They may have had a habit of coming towards you or being around you based on the way you looked, rather than looking inside of you for the person who you are, right? Rather than what you look like. Yeah, see okay, so this is the party card, having fun, clubbing, risky, fun with friends. So they considered you were somebody they just had fun with. They liked the way you look. It was toxic in a way of they didn't get to know you for who you really were. It was all about having the fun, what you looked like. They may have made you feel like you were being degraded because, maybe they, like I said, they only liked you for your outside appearance, maybe, just having some fun, with the insatiable. But now that there's the boundary, there's something more. Like they're actually learning to see beyond the surface. So that's where I'm getting at. I think this was more surface. And so it's like maybe they feel they miss being around you in the home atmosphere. Maybe they felt comfortable hanging out with you in your home. Revenge. Give me one more on the revenge. Mask. So you might feel, or they feel, that it's like you're getting even with them. And I think that's in their own mind, right? Because they may not have treated you they didn't treat you for the person you really were. You know, you were just a fun time. It's almost as if I think they feel like you're putting up a front now. Because like I said, they're watching you. They're watching you somewhere, right? To where they feel very, they feel more of a pull towards you, even though they're not in your presence, in your home or in their home or hanging out, right? Just having fun. And it's like, I think they feel like you're not being genuine. So you might be genuinely relaxed and they're not believing that. They feel that in some way you're punishing them, which is really odd. Okay. Let's go over here. That sage does not want to stay lit. How does Capricorn feel about this person? Ooh. Devil. Flew right out. Toxic. That's why you put the boundaries up. And, now you're calm, you're taking care of yourself, you're meditating, you're feeling good. And it shows, and they think that this is a front. They think that you're just trying to get even with them. Queen of Wands in reverse. Yeah, you held back your passion. You held back your passion because they were connected to you in a very toxic way. It was very surface. It was just fun. Like they used your body as a playground. And you were done with that. So you shut off your passion. Yeah, 6 of Cups. So this is somebody you've known for a while. So we've got Capricorn energy. There you are. There's Scorpio energy. Pisces, Aries. But really the wands can be any of the fire signs. Yeah, you've known this person a long time. And I don't think it was easy for you to shut this passion off, especially if the devil was here. So you two may have had a very passionate connection to where it was hard to resist each other. Tell me about the boundaries. Yeah, the world. Truthfully, on the side though, I think you tried many times to put up boundaries with this person and kind of end what this situation was. It's a situationship of just having fun. It wasn't anything that was turning into anything real. And I think, it was very hard for you to put these boundaries up and remain with the boundaries up. But I think you finally did it. Give me one more. Is justice in reverse. There's two majors. Yeah, with the justice in reverse, it was like you had trouble putting up these boundaries because of the way you were being treated. You were being treated as an object, not a person, not a real person. Wow. So I mean, has this person changed? Should I stay with the same deck? So has this person changed? That's watching Capricorn? That's Libra energy. So we've got the Knight of Cups and we have the Emperor. I mean, it feels like they're bossing up, right? So the Emperor is somebody who's stable. He's grown up, right? He's husband material. He's father material. Boss material. And I feel like he's kind of turned a little more romantic with the Knight of Cups. And I feel like the Knight of Cups has softened this person up a little bit. I feel like they may have at one point felt like they wanted things to go their way. And I feel like they've actually softened up. And that's because they've gotten to get to know you a little bit more than just for, what you looked like, how good you were in bed, or, what did you do whatever you did in bed. This Sage does not want to be covered up. It is the weirdest thing ever. I have never had this issue with Sage before. Right? So it's like they don't want you... It's like they don't want you to cover up who you are. Like they like seeing more than what is just beneath you. You know, and I get this almost this feeling like they want to protect you. The Two of Pentacles. It's like they want to prioritize you. Capricorn energy. The Hanged Man in reverse. You know, it's like they feel very much like they missed a real opportunity with you. So we've got Aries, Pisces, Capricorn, Libra, Scorpio. So this could have been really important. We're still in Capricorn season. So this could be very prominent where this is happening in Capricorn season with this person. You know, it's like they feel like it's a missed opportunity, right? They should have prioritized you. I think that's what they want to do now. You know, they're ready to come in and be more stable and offer a genuine romantic connection, not just, hey, you're a fun friend, right? Where we go to the fun house, it's now oh, maybe more of I view you as home, like family. I don't view you as just this fun friend anymore. I mean, so is this person going to come forward? I don't know. This one's like really weird. So is this person going to come forward? If so, when? Are they going to come towards Capricorn? In the summertime. So this is all just starting just now. Like I said, something about Capricorn season. I think this is all just now starting to where they're viewing you in a different light. My question is, let me use this deck. So, will Capricorn take this person back? If this person's changed in the summertime, give me some information on this. Jupiter. So Jupiter is about growth and expansion and good fortune and opportunity. You know, it's taking an inspired risk. You might very well take that risk in the summertime. You know, if this person starts to, like, if you two start to slowly connect a little bit, and they start to show you they are the emperor, you may actually take that risk with Jupiter, because that's growth and expansion. You know, it could be you want to see, has this person grown? You know, there could very well be a new opportunity with this person. There's the nurture card. If they show you that they genuinely care for you, they want to nurture you, right? Show that they have sincere feelings and it's not just a fun friend, I see you taking this risk. Now, this could change. You know what I mean? This is all just energy right now. But it does look like, let's get some signs on this. I know we've got card signs, but let's use the dice. Let's get a few signs here. What signs could this be? Okay, so we've got Capricorn, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Yeah, we had Pisces, Scorpio, Capricorn. And that, they could have Capricorn placements just like you. Wow. Let's get you a moon card. Boy, that one took me to a weird place. Especially with that sage. Like, it's like they don't want you to hide who you are. They like what they're seeing inside of you, right? And I didn't mean that in a creepy way. It was just my dream. I felt like I was naked, but it's more of, like I said, it was seeing beneath the surface is really what it was. I know it seemed creepy, but that wasn't really what I meant. Balancing quarter moon. Harmony, adjustment, reflection. Assess your progress and make necessary adjustments to restore balance. So it's, if you want to restore balance in this connection, you'll have to assess the progress. Like I was saying, are they going to come in? Is it going to be sincere? Do they want to nurture you? Right? Have they done some expansion and have they grown into the emperor, coming in romantically? And that's when you'll reassess, is this going to balance out between you and this person? But right now there's boundaries. There is boundaries up and you're at peace, and they're like, what? Hold up, wait a minute. But they didn't treat you right. They were toxic. It was just about, having fun. And you were done with that, Capricorn. You're like, no, I need something real. I need something tangible, right? I need somebody who's going to put the work in, who's, going to be realistic, right? That's how you are, Capricorn. You need someone to be who they say they're going to be, right? Do what they say they're going to do. And focus and be focused. So they're definitely focused on you. They're watching you. and they're seeing way more than they ever saw before, which I think is beautiful. But again, not until summertime. This person's still working through what their issues were with the surface level, but only you will know. And I hope this helps. Much love and light. I'll talk to you soon.